Good morning. Last class, we started with the new lesson, so there was fundamental rights and duties. So, previous classes, before fundamental rights and duties we discussed, we talked a lesson called our Constitution. So, when we talked about our Constitution, major concepts you might have come across, very importantly, definition of the Constitution, drafting, adopting, and enforcement and the significance like single citizenship, universal franchise method. So these are all we have seen. And in the previous class, we talked regarding fundamental rights and duties. What are our fundamental rights? Six fundamental rights: right to equality, right to freedom of religion, and right against exploitation, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. And almost 10 fundamental duties also we had discussed in the previous lessons, especially the very important duties like respecting national flag, national anthem, Indian constitution, then respecting the noble ideas of the Indian leaders, rendering national service, protecting public environment, and protecting public property. So like this, many fundamental duties also we had discussed. So we are going to talk about the two concepts. So that will be directive principles of state policy and the welfare state. Actually, this is one separate lesson, but the syllabus been reduced for this year. So only they have asked here to talk about only what do you mean, what is the meaning of the directive principles of state policy and the welfare state. So we are not going in detail what are our directive principles, what are the concept of welfare states and all. We are not going to talk. Just a meaning, only just meaning. Suppose what is this directive principles of state policy? Majorly, what is the meaning of this directive principles of policy and welfare state? We are going to see in this lesson. I am in this today's class. So after talking about this, so the lesson comes to a conclusion. Then we will go with some new lessons in the next class. So when we talk about the first and foremost topic, so that is the directive principles of state policy. Our constitution framers, so when they framed the constitution, okay, when they framed a constitution, they felt, okay, so they felt directive principles of state policy. This concept also should be there in our constitution. And our constitution framers, from where they got this concept of directive principles of state policy, means they got it from an Irish constitution of 1937. Okay, so 1937 in the Irish constitution they had made this concept of directive principles of state policy. So our constitution framers, when they referred the Irish constitution, they felt this directive principles of state policy, even in India, even in Indian constitution also, it should be there. Okay, so that's how this directive principles of state policy comes. Okay, in Indian constitution part, 4, article 36 to 51, it completely speaks about directive principles of state policy. And one major thing about the directive principles of state policy is it is non-enforceable by the court. It means non-justicable by the court. Now, fundamental rights, they are justicable by court. Okay, if the rights are not given, if the rights are not allowed to be enjoyed by every individual, you can go to the court and you can get the justice. But whereas directive principles of state policy, what are the principles we are having, like Gandhian principle, economic principle, what are the principles we are having? If you don't get it or if you don't enjoy the principles, you cannot go to the court because it's a non-enforceable by court or non-justicable by the court. So that's the one aspect. So we are having. Then what is this directive principles of state policy? When it is not, when it is non-justicable by court, then what is this directive principle mainly? It is just nothing but it is direct the government to have a welfare state, to have a bit standard life to an every individual person. It just gives a direction, or it just direct the government. That's it. Okay, that when we talk about the, if if you would have talked about the types of directive principles, so you might have got it completely how it direct the government, but we are not having a particular concept. So just we will go with the concept of meaning of this directive principles of state policy. So when we come to the meaning part, guidelines to the central, okay, directive principles of state policy, it is just like guidelines to whom? To the central as well as to the state government of India. When they are going to have these guidelines, the state government and central government, when they are going to take the guidelines or they are going to keep these directive principles of state policy in their mind. So when they are going to keep, when they frame laws and the policies. Okay. According to the Indian Constitution or according to the directive principles of state policy, whatever the laws and the policies they frame, it should stand on equality, it should stand on justice, it should stand on the liberty. Okay, so directive principles of state policy also says that whatever laws and policy you make it, that should make a welfare to the people. Okay, so that's how when central government and when state government, okay, when central government and when state governments, when they make laws and the policies, they take the help of or guideline of this directive principles of state policy. That's the meaning. And in one more way we can say it that to create social economic condition for good life. Okay, directive principles of state policy, it mainly sees that social life of a people and economic life of a people. Okay, social life of a people and as well as economic life. Now, social life, when we say good means of livelihood, okay, in a day having a price food, then the distribution of wealth, from the government properly, and like equal pay for equal work. Okay, that is the one concept which we are having. Then women, children, and the workers. Okay, they are all, be protected. Okay, then provision of health facilities. So all these are all nothing but social, measures which we need, which has to be taken care by the central and state under the directive principles of state policy. Then economic conditions like wages. Okay, maximum period for work and fixed wages to the people, recreation to the people while they do work. Okay, then equal pay for equal work. Okay, when both men and women, if they work, the equal pay should be given for men. No gender discrimination there. Earlier and all, based on the strength, the salaries were, wages were given. But today it's not that. Okay, whatever the wages, whether men or women, when they do this equal work, that equal wages should be given. So that's the one concept. So that is economic condition. Okay, why these provisions and all the directive principles of state policy gives the guidelines? It's only just because of to have a good standard of life for a human being. That's all. The aim is mainly that. A good standard of life of each individual person should have. So that's the reason when state and central governments, when they make laws and the policies, they take the guidelines of the directive principles of state policy. And to establish social economic democracy, okay, balanced democracy. Okay, it should be there for the welfare of the state. There should not be any kind of discrimination. Okay, there should be a justice. Okay, there should be a justice, there should be equality, there should be liberty in social and economic life. Because our country is a democratic country of the people, by the people, and for the people. So when it is for of the people, by the people, and for the people, then there should not be inequality practice or there should not be discrimination. So when there is no inequality and discrimination, the welfare of the peoples are kept in concern. That's the one aspect. So here, and at the same time, central and state governments also sees that the directive principles of state policy ensures that justice to the people, either it can be social justice or economic justice. Okay, either social justice or economic justice, or political justice. Three types of justice where the all Indians are given equal or equality. And equality, everybody should be treated equally, no discrimination. And liberty, freedom. Okay, that's the one concept so which we are having it. Okay, so that's the directive principles of state policy. I mean, we are having it. And then when we talk about directive principles of state policy, so we can take, we can talk many things about the directive principles of state policy, but since you are not having for that particular syllabus, so we will have only about this particular just a meaning of the directive principles of state policy. Then next we are having a concept called welfare state. Okay, one more concept, welfare state. So what is this welfare state? If you see, a nation or a state, either it's the whole country or to the individual state, the concept of welfare system should be there. Okay, concept of the welfare system should be there. What is this welfare system should be there? Okay, what is this welfare system should, if you see, the welfare system is nothing but the people in our country, they should have they should have the protection to the physically, social and economic well-beings of our citizens. Okay, social life, economic life, okay, the well-being lifestyle should be there. So that's nothing but the welfare system. Okay, that welfare system should be taken, or welfare system should be taken care by the concept called government. So government is the one so which should take care of this welfare system in our country. Okay, and if you see, the welfare system is a concept of government in which the state plays a key role in protection and promotion of social and economic well-being of society. Okay, the society life, social life and the economic life of people are taken care. Now, for example, when we see what is this social life, if you see, or social life is nothing but equality, justice. Okay, where we should not practice untouchability. Okay, and steps to be taken for the SC and STs. The depressed class people to be brought up. Okay, that's the one thing which we are having it. Then free and compulsory education for the children up to the age of 14. This all comes under the protection and promotion of social lifestyle. Then when we come to economic lifestyle, the people should be given a land. Okay, land programs has to be taken by a government. Okay, then many banks should be opened, banks and the insurance companies, where the loans can be given to the people for the cultivation, especially to the farmers. Okay, and where the government should have minimum wages should they fix for the work. Okay, and at the same time they should have, the government should see that the people will have a very standard life. Okay, all these things, these are all nothing but economic for the standard life. Okay, that all comes under the welfare system. And next, if you see, welfare state is the one that provides for its citizen a wide range of social service. Okay, a social service like education. Education has to be very important, where the state government should see whatever the provisions can be given for the impart of education, so that should be there in the particular state. So the system to improve the education is nothing but welfare state, welfare system. Without discrimination, the education should be given. Then medical care, basic aid or basic health clinic or health center should be there in all the rural areas. Urban areas already it will be there. City and towns already, but what about the village? There also should be there. Okay, where the people should be taken care. Then monetary aids. Monetary aids is nothing but whenever the requirement is there. Monetary aids like for old age people, orphanage centers, old age houses should be constructed where the people should be taken care. Then sickness people separately, where they are thrown out of the house, such people. Then unemployment. Okay, in villages and all, unemployment we can see more. Such people you should give an employment. How you are going to give an employment in a village? Many people, by starting up the small scale industries. You can give an employment. That's nothing but a welfare system. So like this, I mean the welfare system and directives and principles of state policy. So our constitution framers, they have added in our constitution to see only just a good standard of life. Okay, a good standard of life, and the people in India should have a comfortable, not a very luxurious, but a comfortable lifestyle with proper livelihood and without discrimination in society. They should lead their life. So because this is a major concept which we, I mean, have it in the directive principles and I mean welfare state concept. But since you don't have in detail study, so you may not understand in detail, but just at least a basic thing. What does this welfare state and what does this directive principle state policy says? So that you should know it. And I mean, that's about the directive principles of state policy meaning and welfare state meaning, which we are having it. So next class, we will move with the new concept or new lesson. I mean, in the next class, so we will be having, so that will be election. Okay, that is the elections. So that will be the new chapter, so which we will be going to discuss. So once you revise the lesson like our constitution and the previous class what we talked, fundamental rights and duties, then the directive principles of state policy and welfare state. So once you revise it, if you have any doubts, so let me know in the coming classes, or else we will go with the next chapter, so that will be elections. Thank you.